We kind of spoke about this a little bit yesterday, but I want to get a deeper dive here because we want to talk about Jude Bellingham. We got cut off because I don't know where we went, but you were praising him because you said, look, if you just play him in his position, he plays well. Now we're going to kind of detour to Real Madrid because Brahim Diaz had an amazing game for Morocco yesterday. He also scored a hat-trick. And I think there is a lot of eyes now on Don Carlo, obviously because Real have been underperforming. But, you know, we thought maybe it could be injury. Jude Bellingham was coming back from it. We weren't sure. But clearly he's doing just fine.
Yeah, I know. I think, you know, I said this yesterday. I don't think Jude Bellingham has played awfully this season. I think his defensive input has been good. You know, yes, his attacking input could be a little bit better, I think. But, you know, you look at the positions he's playing and he's not playing as a 10 normally. He's playing further back or he's, sometimes even been playing on the right-hand side. So when you look at his performances for England against Greece and Ireland, yes, people will say it's against lesser teams, but Greece are a strong team. Ireland less so, but I still think when you put him in the right positions, he's a real attacking threat. And I'd rather, I'll repeat myself again, I think his defensive abilities are brilliant. He's second to none when it comes to his tenacity, his tackling. But I think his attacking ability is too good to take it away from your team. And I think when you put him in that 10, he offers so much, not just himself when he shoots, when he passes, but he takes away that pressure from Vinicius, from Mbappé. When they're looking at, we've got to mark Bellingham, Valverde, Mbappé, and Vinicius, it gives space to everyone else. So I think when you look at the options that Carlo Ancelotti has, he has to look at playing Jude Bellingham in his natural position of where he played him last season. And it goes back to that old adage, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. And it worked very well last season, so I want to see it more.
Yeah, I think so. Klinton, do you agree? Jude Bellingham, obviously on fire for the Three Lions, but something's not clicking there with Real Madrid.
Listen, we've seen Jude Bellingham shining with Real Madrid, so it means that he definitely has what it takes to play for that club, right? The only reason why he's not performing this season is there was an addition that came to ruin everything, and that stuff keep ruining it. Like, they keep ruining I just remember the video where somebody made that statement and it made it really popular. But now, I feel like what Carlo needs to do at this point is he needs to reflect. He needs to think about what is going on. Like, he needs to let him get one of his big cigars, like that he usually poses with. Actually, smoke it real this time in front and just ask himself a question. Where have I gotten it wrong? What is the difference between this Real Madrid this season compared to the last season? This new addition, what can I do to make it work? Okay? This is something you need to think about. We've just been talking about Brahim. Brahim has always been an excellent player, no matter, even with how small he is, right? The other day when we were doing shooting our commercial, I looked at Brahim like somebody I could literally just get, come on. You know how you treat your younger sisters and brothers. And this guy is shining crazily. Listen, let them avoid, we're still coming back to what I was saying about the country football now, yeah? Let them forget about these big names for like a couple of minutes and say, let's play people who are hungry. At this point, even Brahim Diaz understands that, there are so many people who would start again before him in that Real Madrid team, yeah? Including the Jude Bellingham that we've just mentioned, right? But if they are performing, why not keep them out? Keep them out and see how things will turn around. Because this guy, what's the name of the young one that got married? The small boy that... Hendrik, right? All these are...
The young one, the one who got married.
I can't believe he's the smallest, but he was the one that got married. But, these are people who are really thirsty. They need goals. They want to perform. These names, Mbappé, I'm not really a huge fan of names these days, man. For me, it's not really about names. It's about the action. It's about the hunger. It's about the determination. It's about the zeal. This is what I'm looking for in players. I'm not really huge fans of all these massive, Mbappé, this, that, uno, dos, tres, a la Madrid. How many goals did he bring? What did he, I beg you.
Speaking of youngsters, Arda Guler, fun stat that he's played.
He needs to go find a new club.
He's played more international minutes in international friendlies than he has for Real Madrid in competitive matches now. So there's a bit of a question as what he is exactly doing there. He needs minutes in order to advance his skills and keep fit as well. It's getting a little bit concerning, I think, Alex, with Guler, because we saw what he did in the Euros. Clearly a talented player. also very young. The future is bright, but now just sitting on the bench for Real Madrid.
I think it's a double-edged sword, really. You know, yes, from a certain perspective, you could look at it and say it would be really good to send Arda Güler out on loan, get him experience, get him playing week in, week out for a team in La Liga, whether it be, you know, whoever it may be, or playing in another league across Europe. But when you look at the amount of football that teams are playing these days, they have to have the squad depth to be able to rotate. You know, one injury to a Valverde or a Bellingham, suddenly Arda Güler has jumped up 2 spots in the hierarchy. So he has to be, you know, there to be called upon. So I think it's a hard one for Ancelotti because, you know, he wants those players there to have them as options. They're playing too much football, which means some of these players are suffering as a result of that. That means that they're having to wait for their opportunities. And, you know, it's not the club's fault. It's, you know, the organisers' fault. Putting on too much football, it means that they have to have the bigger squads. And then as a result of that, some players are disappointed because they're not getting the right number of minutes.
Isn't it also fair to say, though, that because they are playing so much football, teams should be rotated? So maybe in some of these matches, whether it's a Copa del Rey or La Liga match against a lower-level team, that we could see an Arda Güler cameo?
Yeah, I think you've got to pick your right moments. And I think, you know, Ancelotti will know who's performing well in training and who he wants to pick. And I think it is also a case of making sure your main guns get a run out and they get used to playing together. And, yeah, there's so many to pick from. You've got not just Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz, like we talked about, Endrick. You know, these are players that are quality players. And then you get to the likes of Dani Ceballos, who still brings quite a lot when he comes onto the pitch, and the youngsters that are coming through at Castilla. So it's a hard job. I'm glad I'm not the one picking the team. But, yeah, I think...
I wish I was the one picking the team, though.
I'm sure you do.
Man.
I'm sure you do.
No, honestly, if I was the one...
All right, okay, let's do that. Give us your starting 11 for Real Madrid. No injuries. Who are you playing and where are they playing? Wait, maybe we should say it with injuries, though, because...
Yeah.
With injuries.
Okay, with injuries, right? So I have number 1 goalkeeper.
He's injured.
Courtois. You said with injuries, right?
No, without, as it is right now. So you can't, no Courtois, no Dani Carvajal, no Tchouaméni, like how the team is as it stands.
I mean, right now, obviously, Lunin would have to be the next person in command, right? I'm not going to give you probably the full one, but I'll just give you just a glimpse of what I believe. Join it to the one they have currently. There's no wasting much time, right? Obviously, Rudiger is definitely on that backside for me. It's just because of the ruggedity. And then, as usual, I would always have... in fact, forget about defense. Defense is not a problem for me with Real Madrid. I swear to you.
I think it's quite a big problem.
No, for me, it's not. For me, it's not. Because the truth is, my problem is literally going from defense down... Sorry, going from the midfield down to the forward. And I can tell you for free, listen, I'm not even changing too much. All I'm just saying is, I'm not starting Kylian Mbappé and Vinicius at the same time.
So who are you playing and where are they playing? What's your front look like?
So my front line, I'm probably going to have Mbappé starting on that left for me.
Okay.
So I'm just going to shut people up who think that I hate Mbappé.
I was going to say, you're getting some hate.
I don't know. I don't like. I cannot. I don't hate Kylian Mbappé, right? Kylian Mbappé, whether we like it or not, right? He's one of the best players to actually still play the game. When you think about what he's done with France, just that thing alone is something history can never forget. Do you understand? With PSG playing with, like, listen, Mbappé is a good player. Everything going on with Real Madrid is the fact that they are playing in the position where he's not comfortable with. And that's the only problem. Trust me. Like, Mbappé has the speed. Mbappé can dribble. Mbappé can score the goals if he wants to score the goal. But play him in the place he's happy with. Don't go play him as somebody who is almost like a striker. Why? Because Mbappé doesn't want to just stand there waiting for the ball. That's not his kind of play. Mbappé wants to be able to go get the ball from behind and work his way to the front. Find assists, find goals, not for him to just hang around. That's the reason why, if you notice, the last game where people were complaining that maybe it's probably the last 2 Real Madrid games. I can't remember who they played. But what they noticed from that game was the fact that they put Mbappé as a point man. Mbappé was nowhere to be found there. Why? Because he kept on going to find the ball. And when the ball came, Mbappé was not in that particular position where they want him to be. It's to tell you that this man is hungry to go play from that left wing where he can work with the left back. They have some kind of connection where he can just take the ball, run. This is who he is. Listen, if Mbappé wasn't playing football, Mbappé will be doing 100-meter races, 200-meter races, relay races. That's how fast this man is, and he's going to make it even better than the ones who do it properly as profession.
I have a joke for you.
Go on.
Mbappé is the best player in PSG history, says Mark and Day. Remember, Messi played at PSG.
But he's definitely not the best player to play. I mean, yeah, that's a joke. Actually, yeah, that's actually a joke. That's actually a very good joke. But
So, sorry, you're going to play Mbappe. Does that mean you're benching Vinicius?
I'm benching Vinicius, easy, okay? And let me tell you something. I'm not benching Vinicius because he's anything less. I just feel like Mbappe and Vinicius, both of them, I don't think anyone is better than each other. Trust me, I know people will say, Vini has owned. Yes, I always say it. He's owned that wing, right? But I'm looking at these two players. Both of them are equally as good as each other. Very creative as well. They are dribblers. They have speed. Do you understand? So when I'm putting Mbappe there to start, it doesn't mean Vinicius is anything less. It's only because I know there's something in Mbappe that everybody wants to see. And me in particular, I want to see that same thing. And they've not really given him the opportunity to show that stuff consistently. They might have found a way to kind of like shuffle them around. Maybe Mbappe runs out from the left and then Vinicius covers and then Vinicius goes to the middle. You know, but no, that's not what I want to see. I want to see Mbappe actually owning that left for like a whole full game and saying, what you did with France, what you do with PSG, do it right here. This is now yours. I want to see that happen. Then I'll get Rodrigo. You see, Rodrigo is probably one of the best players in Real Madrid, but because of the fact that his PR, they are probably not doing the best job. Everybody just underrates him. But that guy
He's just not loud.
It's not loud, exactly. That's the thing.
Brilliant.
He's one of the best dribblers in Real Madrid.
Fede is the same.
Valverde is like the best midfielder.
They leave their talking on the
yeah,
pitch.
well,
They're
exactly.
Not, yeah.
Exactly. That's the problem. But these guys we just mentioned, these are monsters. Do you understand? So for me, I'm still holding Jude Bellingham, right? You know, I'll probably even play Jude Bellingham as. Oh man, it's going to be very. I'll probably play him as a 10.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think he will do brilliantly.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
So for me, it's just that front. Like I said, I don't have any. I know people you think, yeah, defense might not be as strong, but all the chances that it creates, if you have people who are able to do that, get that creativity, work these things around, trust me, before you think about defense, they would have landed in like 4 goals already. This is the Real Madrid we want to see.
Alex, DJ2Core said Madrid bought an expired Mbappe. They shouldn't expect more from him. I didn't know football players expire at 25. Ridiculous.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's still one of the best players in the world. He's still got an abundance of quality. You know, we've seen him produce, yes, perhaps not as consistently as we would have expected to, but he's still one of the best players in the world. And you put him in the right position, you get him playing in the right tactics, he can be the best player in the world. So far from expired.
I love it.